welcome to Painter's Paradise. I'm your host, Luis Castillo, and we're here to learn how to paint. Okay, so first we're going to be mixing our gray. So add a little bit of white in there, just like that. And then add your black. And this will create the color gray, like so. Maybe a little bit more black. And just mix it with your palette knife. You know, I really like the color gray because it rhymes with gay, and I really support the LGBT group, and I support people being themselves. I really hope that they chose to do the pride flag, the rainbow, instead of all the colors, just make it all gray. So after that we can just, you know, make motivational sentences when we talk about the color gray, like gray is gay, and just have a whole float, like a whole parade just with the color gray. Alright, that should do it. Alright, so after you've mixed the paint, we're just going to apply the gray onto canvas to prime it, ready for the other colors to be put upon it. So just stroke it like this, and keep applying your primer. This is so much fucking gray. I might need to mix a bit more gray, so to cover up the metal parts as well. Alright, for this next part, our subject matter is going to be a tree. So a tree will be standing vertically. So what you want is to flip your canvas in a vertical position like so. So it'll be easier for you to paint the tree. So it won't be as small, it will cover up most of the canvas basically. So let's get to that. We won't be mixing colors right now. We're going to be just using the paint straight out of the tube. So this is a Mars Black, but as in French they pronounce the color black as Negro. So let's just put that on. Alright, so we're going to be using the black on the tree because black is such a bold color, very strong and very intimidating, you know. So I just want to start with the roots of the tree because the roots of the tree is the biggest part of the tree. So you want to always start where the main body is of the tree. So the roots, which cover the most volume, is where you want to start. So make sure you just get the roots in there. Make sure you tangle the roots. Make sure to get the roots to cover as much of the canvas as well, so don't be shy about that. So make sure to entangle them while you paint. You know, black is such a void color, like you stare at it for too long and it almost seems like an abyss, an insatiable void that, you know, it almost feels like it'll just take whatever you own, almost like it wants to be filled with the things that you have. So just tangle the roots like this. And make sure to add some more roots on the other side as well. Always entangle the roots. What a strong color, honestly. It's making me scared until now. There you go. And those will be the main roots of the tree. Pretty happy how they turned out. Okay, so we're going to need more black, and we're going to start with the body of the tree now. Alright, so we're also going to be using black for the body of the tree, because you want, it's a strong shade, as I told you, so you're going to want it to be a hard, erect body of the tree. So you just want to add on the silhouette of the tree, like so. And black is the perfect shade to do for this. Alright, so now that we have the body of the tree, you're going to want to add the texture as well. So the crevices of the bark, the texture of that bark, you want to get in there. Just want to get the black like this and just create the texture of the bark. That. But you always got to define the silhouette of the tree like that. Very well. Alright, so now that we got the body, we're going to add the grass of the tree, because you want to incorporate the environment there as well. So just take the black again and create the grass, the sides of the tree. This reminds me of the time when I used to be in primary school, and on a really hot day, I would sit on the grass just like this on the tree, right? And since the tree is so hard and strong, I could just lean back on it without any worry and sit on the tree. And it was very, very cooling to me, a very comforting feeling to sit on the grass, and as it gives me shade, like so. And don't be scared to just retouch up your whatever you want here, like the roots as well. Don't be afraid to touch those up. Alright, so next up is going to be the leaf area. So where the leaves are going to be in the trunks. So we're going to start with the main body of the plant, so you want to make it into a solid shape first before you add the detailing. So the grass or the leaf area will probably be around this level. It'll start around here. So you just want to underline where you want it to start, like so. And just finish the shape for that. So this is the area where the tree is going to be. And you want to make sure that you get it all in one solid shape. So now that you have such an erect tree, it looks really realistic, and it stops at the top here. So you want to make sure that the tree is all the way from the bottom of the canvas all the way to the top, like that. It's a nice looking tree. Okay, so now what you want is to add the texture of the leaves. So we're going to get the color green. So don't forget to clean your brush. Always try to scrape it on the palette so that the next color you use is going to be a much purer color. So we're just going to start with the green and add texture to the leaves. Like so. We don't want to use too much green. We just want to indicate that the leaves are there. Okay. So now we want to use red as the base color of the tree, because the tree is a very earthy color, so you're going to want a lot of red. Light will be hitting all the leaves of the tree, and we're going to imagine that the light is coming mostly from this area right here. So just want to concentrate more of the red on this side. And we don't want to forget the environment feeling of the tree as well. So what else is red, you would ask? Well, that would be the ants. So you want a lot of red here, where the grass area is. And the ants will be at the bottom as well, because they'll be underground. Just make sure to add that texture on where the ants are going to be. And just blur them out because they'll be inside the dirt. Like so. And this gives the roots a more entanglement feeling. Because you're going to be mixing up the roots again, like so. Alright. So now we're going to have to add some yellow to represent the sunlight. So the sun will be coming from here, so most of the yellow will be over here. So let's get to that. And the sun will be hitting the tip the most, so just put a lot of it there. And I'll be hitting the edges of the leaves right here. And since light is such a fluid, it's such a fluid concept, you know, like it fits on all places. You want to just make the sun look like it's a fluid material on the painting. It's a weird concept, but it works. It works really well. So like in this area, you want the yellow to really collect itself. Kind of like what if it's sliding down from the tip there, you know. Make sure you get the sides here too. Not too much. There you go. And it's going to be hitting the grass as well. Isn't our tree looking great? Very photorealistic, I would say. So now that we have captured the essence of light on our painting, we're going to add the extreme light now, the highlights. So you want to get your white. We're going to be using white for this segment. And I love working with white because it's such a gentle, soft color. You could trust it. You could almost trust it when you paint it. It's just such a good color to work with. It doesn't fight you because it's not intimidating. I love working with white. It almost makes me feel like, you know, the teamwork between the shade of white and yourself when you paint is just much more efficient than other shades, you would say. So you just add white to where the basically where you want the yellows are, because the yellow represents the sun. So you want the whites to really pop at the tip as well. Like that. Just give it some love taps. Right there. Because you want it to hit the highest base of the painting. And the tree. The grand erect tree, you know. A little bit here on the outer areas of the painting as well. And as well as the grass, you want the highlights to pop out on it too. So, alright, so we're almost done with the painting. We just need to go back and put some more shading on the tree. So you're gonna want to add that extra depth into that tree, you know. So now that it's structured and erected, you're gonna want to really pop it with that depth, so that it could go farther and penetrate your concept in your mind of what you want to put on the canvas. So just get some more of that bold, intimidating, kind of like wants to, you just want to get the areas where gravity will be pulling on it. So like for example, in this area you're going to want a lot of black to really bolden up the area where gravity pulls, you know? Use a lot of black. Just make sure it doesn't touch the whites. And now to reconstruct some of the details lost on the texture painting, you're going to want to get your smaller brush and just apply the blacks there as well. So just like that. Make sure the tree is nice, visible, and erect. So. Make sure the shading is also visible on the lower ends of the grass because light doesn't reach there as well as the ones on the top. Make sure the shading is just blended. Tangle the roots as well. Alright, so our tree is basically done, and you could call this finished. But as an educated painter like me who went to school for this, I'm going to teach you a secret technique. So for this next technique we're going to be using vegetable oil. Because when you think of a tree, it's a plant, and it needs water. So what makes something really shiny, like how water would when you apply it to a tree? You're going to want to use vegetable oil. So you get your same brush and just work it like a varnish almost. And it doesn't have to be, oil. It could be anything that just really pops the image up. You could use soap, or like even your spit maybe. I might just use a little bit of spit as well, because I just like the viscosity of how spit works. So to apply the oil, just directly put on your brush and just really varnish the painting. And it's really popping up right now. Maybe I'll even use a bigger brush, like maybe even your priming brush, Just make sure a lot of the paint is off the brush, so it's clean on the palette. And like I said, you could also use your spit. Our painting's looking really good. So look at the sheen on that painting. It makes it look like the tree's really popping up at you, My professor once told me that your latest drawing is your best drawing, or in this case, a painting. So this is possibly one of my best works. As you can see, I'm running out of oil. Don't be afraid to get really creative with it. Just use whatever resource you have, So you just want to start spitting at it. Now you want to apply it, and for this part, you really want to use a big surface area. So you can just use your hands and just apply it here. Just kind of massage it in. And don't forget to massage the tip as well. Just really get it in there. Just massage it like so. And also don't be afraid to touch the blacks. I know it could be a bit intimidating, but to really master your craft, you have to master over the blacks. Alright, I think we're done. And this is my tutorial of how to paint a tree. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Painter's Paradise, and we'll see you next time.